As I was telling you a little bit earlier on, we're telling you about new research that's out today by World Travel Market, and it's found that 35% of Brits have changed their travel plans due to the threat of terrorism. Now, with most capital cities on high alert, it's oddly surprising that we're more cautious in our decision when it comes to deciding on holidays and destination. Right? 17% of Brits are avoiding countries where the terror threat is high, and 12% are avoiding countries where there has already been a terrorist attack, all right? A third of Brits have changed their travel plans due to threat of terrorism. And listen to this one, almost a fifth of us Brits, 16%, will not travel because of terrorism. So joining me in the studio this morning, I've got travel expert Paul Nelson with me to talk about this from World Travel Market. Good morning, Paul.
Morning, Sam.
Well, this is very worrying, actually, because holidays is a time of year for all of us when we get away from work, get away from the monotony of life, and go for a break. So how surprised were you to learn that Brits will not travel because of terrorism?
To a degree, quite surprised. In the main, us Brits are very resilient when it comes to travelling and terrorism impacting on our travels. Obviously, it's been a little bit more closer to home, unfortunately, recently. Mm-hmm. But still, I still think that we will travel. We will still, travel in almost record numbers. I would suspect this summer. Okay. But what you'll find is instead of us going to countries such as Tunisia and Turkey and Egypt, which are all countries that we've been travelling to in big numbers over recent years, and they've really grown in popularity. Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to those what we perceive to be safer destinations. So, the places that we've been going to for decades and decades, so Greece and Spain and Italy and Portugal, etc. They've all seen big spikes this year. But of course, what that means is that you've got more people trying to get into fewer countries. Also, obviously, the capacity, the number of hotel rooms and flights in, etc. are limited, which therefore means that, unfortunately, we're going to see prices increase to those destinations.
It's funny, because that's what I was just about to ask you. Is this going to, obviously, if everyone's trying to go to the same place, going to hike prices, right? All right. So, and
they will do. And then the dual side on that, Sam, unfortunately, is also Brexit. And because of the impact that's had, that's seen prices increase because of the weakness of the pound as well. So I'd be sitting here lying if I said that our summer holidays this summer wouldn't be quite a bit more expensive than they've been in previous years.
Yeah. So some people who are actually sitting at home right now, worried, feeling scared, I mean petrified, what would you say to them? What advice should you give them?
It's very difficult to that, isn't it? Because that's it's very much an individual's feeling. But I would say, I think unfortunately, as we've seen it on our own doorstep, this in recent weeks, haven't we? Unfortunately, and I think that just goes to show that it can happen to you anywhere, really, can't it? And there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no way you can predict what is or isn't going to happen. I think we all just have to try and live our lives as normal, really. But when we're doing that, just be that little bit more vigilant.
So, Paul, can I ask you? I mean, we all know of the sad attack in Manchester and the one in London, right? How are people on the outside? Foreigners seeing us right now? Are they still coming to the UK? Are we still going to have record numbers? Are you think that that's going to kind of cut people coming to our great country?
I suspect not. We've had predictions when there's been terror incidents in other countries of the industry dropping off by anything up to 30%. However, since the London Olympics, the number of tourists coming over to the UK has just boomed. It was around 31 million in 2012, and we're expecting it to be still more than 37 million in 2017. So perversely again, I think we're going to benefit from Brexit, from the fact that the weak pound means that it's so much cheaper to come over here now for people that actually the financial issues will offset, and not only offset but counterbalance any issue that there may be around the fear of terrorism.
Yeah, sounds a bit unfair, doesn't it? That people can come in and enjoy the low value of the pound, whereas if we're going abroad, it's going to cost us double what it would have done 2 years ago. Right. I got another one for you then. Hotspots. Where are people traveling to? Let's just say then that you mentioned Spain before and everybody trying to get back to safer destination. Are there any other far afield places that you could recommend that you think people might want to travel to?
Well, as I say, I think you'll see that Greece, Spain, Italy, Portugal, they've seen real big spikes this year, so they're going to be incredibly popular. The US, obviously, Florida, etc., again is incredibly popular. Personally, I'm off to Croatia next week, which I'm really looking forward to. So I'm going to Dubrovnik.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spend a week out there. Croatia is a country which is a personal favourite of mine, which I would recommend to your listeners.
Okay.
It's really safe. It's really friendly. The weather's lovely, and it's very diverse. There's lots of islands which you can go and explore. They've all got their own individual culture, and then you've got the mainland as well. So yeah, that would be my slightly off the beaten track recommendation for you.
Sounds absolutely fantastic. Are there any special sites that are set up to deal with concerned holiday makers right now?
Well, what I would recommend to everyone would be that before you book your holiday, you go to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office website and look at their travel advice. So they have the most comprehensive travel advice for every destination in the world, and that will include the terrorism threat, but it will also include regions within the resort or the country where you shouldn't travel at night, for example, or areas you should stay away from. It will tell you if there's pickpocketing problems. It will tell you if locals maybe target tourists. Not just from a terrorism perspective, but it will give you the complete overhaul about what to do and what you shouldn't do or what you should look to avoid within your resort. So even if you're going to a country that we would perceive to be a safer destination, I would still recommend to all your listeners to check out that website and have a look at that before you book anything.
Absolutely brilliant. And where can we go now to get information about this research we're talking about?
You can go to WTM.com.
Okay, absolutely fantastic. Paul, a pleasure talking to you this morning. Have a fantastic rest of the day.
You too, Sam. You too.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
There you go.
Cheers.
Thanks. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to Paul Nelson from World Travel Market. And as he said, just go to WTM.com for more information, all right, and follow the link and get all the information about what destination to travel to, some of the hot spots. And it's got lots of information on this. So worldtravelmarket.com, all right, WTM.com. Absolutely fantastic.